Well, as seen previously on the wood whirler, we're going to make this bowl in the picture. Step one, I guess, gathered up all kinds of junk that was around, pen blanks and all kinds of things that I had discarded, shavings and aluminum, gumballs, pine balls, and etc. And gathered all those up, and we're going to go put them in a bowl and pour epoxy here in a minute. Alright, step two was to find me a piece of wood and make a plug, or some people call it a resin saver, to go in the middle of my conglomeration, or whatever you want to call it, to not use as much resin. That's really the only purpose of it. And then the next step was to go ahead and pour some epoxy in it. I use multicolors. I use yellow and blue and green and so forth. And we put them in a pressure pot, and we'll take them out next. Alright, it's out of the mold and it's on the lathe now, and I'm going to use a negative round cutter and a regular round cutter to go ahead and get the shape I desire. Okay, got my depth hole drilled and we're ready to start. Got her nice and shiny. Well, let's see what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and whirl it up to about 1 grand. My philosophy is to be as honest as I possibly can with you guys, so you can trust me. But I don't like the face shield very much. Not in this situation. Now, if I was turning something bigger, I might. But I find it's getting in my way right there. So I'm going to take it off. Damn, I can't do anything with gloves on. Take it off over here in case I drop it. Now, if you're doing some heavy roughing or something, I can see where it'd be advantageous, but for what I'm doing, it's not helping me none, okay? And if it ain't helping you none, well then you don't need to be using it, do you? It is making a nice fine finish though. Now, I better use a negative rate one on that. I'm almost getting reckless because I don't want to come in here, flattening this out, using that beaver, and then chip off a big chunk up into here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this negative rake one I made for that. Alright, that's pretty good. Back when I used to build cars, we used these things a lot. I always called them, we called them an idiot stick. I don't know the right name of them. But, and I have several that are, pneumatic. This one says left hand. I don't know what the difference is. But anyway, that's a good way to make sure you're good and flat here. Man, it roughed it up good. That ought to get it. Alright. Let's check that out. Oh, that looks good. A little void right there, but that ain't gonna make no never mind. Not a single chip. Good deal. Alright, let's get back on with the rat killers. Get in here as far as I can. And I want to leave a pretty good lip right there. Okay, I'm gonna come in here to beaver for just a little while, but then I'm gonna have to switch something else because beaver just don't get in there real well. I just wanted to show it to you. My big round cutter, and until I hit resin on the inside, then I'll switch to the negative rake, maybe. That resin really does dull to those tools. I mean, even carbon dulls pretty quick. Not near as quick as traditional, but it does dull. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this, or I might just run it over the 1200 diamond card real quick. It won't take but a second. It's off anyway, you know. All right, be back. See the immediate difference? What we got going in here, you know, that looks pretty dang good in there. I'm here to told you. I'm gonna leave this part thick right here because, you know, I need it for the base. But I'm thinking when I turn it around, I can get that real easy from the top side. Probably easier than I can here. So I think I'm going to call it off and go ahead and glue that bottom. Well, I probably got to go warm up my epoxy. I'm going to use 2-ton epoxy. I used to use that when I made knives to put the scales on. The scales are, for those who don't know, that's the handle, the wooden handle on top of a stainless steel or steel. And I've yet to have one come off, so I guess that's good testimony. I'll show you when I bring it out. All right, this is DEFCON. DEVCON 2-ton epoxy, and I ain't got much left. I might probably got enough to do this. This is there's a lot of stress on this piece, so that's one reason I really like to use this better epoxy than the standard 30-minute or whatever. I like to use the bottom of a Coke can or a beer can or whatever. They are just a lot easier to do. we're gonna come down here and go do the inside right here. I like to put it on both sides. Some people say it's not necessary. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That's the way I do it. I would rather have some waste and drip out than not have enough. We want to come in here and put this one on this one, right on the dot. Okay. I always like to do a little bit of this too. And you just want to snug it. You don't want to tighten it real tight because you don't want to squeeze your epoxy out. And it probably drips, so you have to leave some of that on there. Did that already get it? Okay, it's the next day again. It's on there really good. I'm going to go ahead and put the tenon on. I'm going to do a recessed tenon. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish this right here. Then we'll flip it around. We'll see what we got on the inside. I'm going to make 2 lines now. I'm going to make one for the inside for the tenon, and I'm going to make one outside for the foot. It gives me a reference, you know. So we're going to come in here and be very careful we don't touch the other side. Can't see where it's hitting. There it is. Okay, that's going to be the inside one. Okay, that's going to be the edge of the tenon there. And this will be the outside one. Now let's see if I can get it closer there. Alright. That ought to get it right there. I had to come out here a little wider for that. And I'll come in right about here. Okay, about to the head of that screw right there. So let's whirl it up here. It looks like I'm on the money, doesn't it? All right. So we'll cut the dovetail in that rascal. Clean up the rest of the bottom and the outside, and we'll be in good shape. And for that, I'm going to use a converted parting tool that I made into a point tool. Let's whirl it up. All right, that is just about perfect. Could be a little smaller, but that's okay. The wood will probably shrink anyway. that sit a few minutes, come back and flip it over, and we'll start on this top. All right, excuse me. We'll go ahead and put the chuck on here. I always do it this way. Use a live center. Make sure center and put a little pressure on it. Took a bunch. That was because I had my wrist too far away. And I knew better. Wouldn't exactly call it a catch. Call it more being lazy. I'd already decided to move my wrist and one more cut. You know how that goes. Let's take a look at it. That actually looks pretty good, and I like that wood ring in there. So I think I'm gonna just put a burr on my scraper because it's not chipping out. So I don't need it regular. Other walnut on. Right. See, I'm going to have to do that again when I get the walnut on anyway, so no need to be getting super fine there. All right, I'm gluing the other walnut ring on now. Starting not to show this because it's all about the same, but you know how that goes. I can always not show it, but if I ain't got it, I can't show it. All right, it's the next morning. I've already, removed cold jaws and all that kind of stuff, and I put I like to call it my bowl saver in. And it's not a bowl saver like coring or nothing, but in case that comes off of there, that's as far as it can go. I'm going to fly around and break stuff. Look, I took that negative brake scraper off because it just doesn't, for the way I turn, it's no big advantage to me. Now, I can understand a lot of people who hold it in straight all the time like that because it will chip, but if you come in here like this, at a high speed, it doesn't chip. I mean, there's proof, look in there, there's no chips in there. And I use that other round cutter about like this all the way. So, I'm going to continue what I do. It works for me. I mean, that's just the way it should be anyway. So what do we got here? I turned it on. Whirl it up. All right. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna clean this up in here and then around and make it look sort of like the bottom one. As soon as I get my face shield on. Turn this rascal up to about $1,000. Now it was humming on me out there pretty good. And normally what that means is, you know, you don't have any support in the center. But I guess I'll just have to take life easier. 'Cause I don't like turning slow. All right, I'm back. Had a phone call, naturally. Okay, while that's sitting up, I'm going to go ahead and start on the back side of this. I may just cut that whole lip down quite a bit. It's quite big. I cut it down about half of that so it'll blend in better. Yeah, I was going to get some on the outside, but that's the way it goes. Do it over again. No biggie. I'm going to leave that, what the heck was that? Remember now. Pear. I'm going to leave that pear like it is down there in the bottom. First I thought I might stain it, but I don't see much need to do that. All right. Brandy, you about ready for some popcorn, buddy? While this dries? Okay, let's do it. All right, I've got a couple of places here, in grain and places like that I can't seem to get out. So what I'm going to do, or what I did, is I took a little bit of that powder, the real fine stuff, and some sealer, and I made myself here it is, I made myself like a slurry right here, see? That sealer and that real fine powder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it into those places and let it dry. I may not mess it with no more till tomorrow because I have some things I've got to do. I'm going to put it in those places I'm having trouble with. And hopefully tomorrow it'll be all really hard and I'll just be able to sand it. And, you know, it's worth trying, I'm thinking. I mean, I know the slurry works, but I've never done it like this before. The thing about it is I don't want to spread it everywhere. That's why I'm doing this. Because I got some parts that really look good and I don't want to, I have to re-sand those for laziness, I reckon. I'm just going to put it in a few little places here. Sort of, you know, shove it in into any cracks or anything. Anywhere where it's rough with a little bit of end grain. Right here. I'm quitting for today. I got to go. My refrigerator in my shop gave up. I got to go buy one. See you later. All right. Well, I had to go back and fix a couple of places I didn't like. The excuse me, the end grain right in here just, well, it just wouldn't take sanding. So I made a slurry that's using some sealer and some dust and making sort of like a paste and then filling it in. Should have filmed it, but I didn't, or videoed it rather. We don't film anymore. That's just the way it is. Let me blow. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta go turn my damn air on. Hold on, be back. feels good. Time to go with some paste, I believe. And I'm going to use Axe paste as everybody else does. There it is. Inside and out. You want to start off slow. And let it do its work here a little bit. You don't want to press too hard. Want it to melt on you. Now you're basically just sanding it with a fine sandpaper. So I'll do this a while, and then I'll slowly start changing paper towels and speed it up until I get a high speed and I can feel the heat. Then I know the beeswax is melting. Now I'll follow it up with some polish. And depending on how it looks, I may follow it up with OB juice. I'll bring you in at the beginning of each one of those stages and at the end of the final one. Show you a little trick. I don't know if it's a trick or not, but I've seen people take something like this thing right there. What you want to do is you want to come here with a large area in order to build the heat up, because if you come in here with a real small area, you're not going to build much heat. You can already see the shine, and this is just the paste. You want to come in here, hold it, sometimes even two hands like this, and you can literally feel the heat coming through. When you start feeling that, it's where it's doing its thing. If you don't feel that, it'll never shine properly. Usually the hardest part to get a good shine is the dead center, because if you stop and think about it, that's turning the slowest. We do basically the same thing here. Turn it slow and get it smeared real good. You're basically right here, you're just smearing it because it's not doing any sanding anymore. It doesn't have any grit properties. I'm happy with it. All right, next thing I'm going to do is turn it around and get that tenon off and then go to the laser, and we'll have this puppy whipped. See you later. Okay, I'm going to come in here with a 5/8 bolt gouge and try to get that whittled down a little bit. Leave me a little dot right in the center, just a little one. All that does is give me an aiming point for the laser. I found this a whole lot easier to do it that way. Well, I'm back out here in the shop again. It's all finished, as you can see. Turned out, I think it turned out really nice. Well, I wish I had it a little shinier. I tried everything in my arsenal, even OB shine juice, and I'm thinking that resin, it just takes a while for it to really cure out before it take a super shine. Although that's a very nice shine, but it could be a little better. I don't reckon it really matters. Better than most. Not good as some, but it's all right. I'm happy with it. Got all kinds of pretty designs in it. You just have to sort of sit and look and try to figure it out. You got yellow resin, blue resin, green resin. That's right here. That's the end of a pin blank. That's just walnut. That's a gumball. You come over here, let's see all the pieces of aluminum shavings. There's another gumball with the blue in it. It looks like that's some, right here, that's some dogwood. And pine cones ought to be around here somewhere. They show up mostly inside. Right here, underneath that, right in there, you can see the dogwoods. Really pretty. All right, thanks a lot. Subscribe. Tell your friends, all that kind of good stuff, and call your mama.